Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Magha Puja Day Uposatha Sila program, day-long program. I am Bhikkhunika Chayana. Other sessions today will be led by Ayasopana and Ayabrahmahara, and we might have an appearance from Ayasuvijana. But I will be leading this morning in the refuges and precepts. So I'm happy to see so many of you here. We can begin with some chanting, brief chanting in homage to the Buddha, and we'll have the opportunity to undertake the 8 precepts, the 3 refuges and the 8 precepts for today. Let me put my screen share going. Just a moment. Are you able to see that? We can begin by bowing together to the Buddha in your room or on the screen. Yoso Bhagawa Arahang Samma Sambuddho Swakato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yassa Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Dhammayang Bhagavantang Sadhammang Sasanghang Imehi Sakkare Yatharahang Aropitehi Abhipujayama Sathuno Pante Bhagava Suchira Parinibbutopi Pachima Janatanukampa Manasang Ime Sakkare Tu Katapanna Parabhute Patikanhatu Amhakang dikaratang hitaya sukhaya Arahang samma sambuddho bhagawa Buddhang bhagawantang abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Right. So now then, we've paid our homage to the Buddha, and this would be the opportunity to undertake 8 precepts for this day. For those who wish to, I assume if you're here that you would wish to do that. To make sure, in case anybody is new to this practice, you know what you're committing to just for today, not for your lifetime, but for today, you would be committing to not killing any living being, not stealing anything, no sexual activity, no lying, no alcohol or intoxicants, not eating in the afternoon. That means from time the sun is highest in the sky until dawn tomorrow. No entertainments, no beautification, no adornments, and not sitting on a higher luxurious sleeping place. So being simplified and in terms of our comfort, and not seeking so much to be sleeping and lounging, but to be awake and alert this time. So that we can go on to the undertaking of the precepts together. We get the screen share up. Just a moment. Right. So normally we would do this in call and response style, but because of the difficulties of Zoom, I'm going to lead, and you're welcome to quietly, well, I mean, you may use your voice at home, but with the mute on so that the sound works out okay. So you can put your hands in Anjali together and chant along with me. Mayang aye tisaranena saha attasilani yachama dutiyampi mayang aye tisaranena saha attasilani yachama tatiyampi mayang aye tisaranena saha attasilani yachama. We, Venerable, request the 3 refuges and the 8 precepts. For the second time, Venerable, we request the 3 refuges and the 8 precepts. For the third time, Venerable, we request the 3 refuges and the 8 precepts. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one. And the 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. To the Buddha I go for refuge. To the Dhamma I go for refuge. To the Sangha I go for refuge. Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. For the second time to the Buddha I go for refuge. For the second time to the Dhamma I go for refuge. For the second time to the Sangha I go for refuge. Tadiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami. Tadiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami. Tadiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. For the third time to the Buddha I go for refuge. For the third time to the Dhamma I go for refuge. For the third time to the Sangha I go for refuge. Tisadana gamanang nititang. This completes the going to the 3 refuges. The 8 precepts. Anatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking the life of any living creature. Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from taking that which is not given. Brahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from any intentional sexual activity. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from lying. Sura meraya majjapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from consuming intoxicating drink and drugs which lead to carelessness. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from eating at inappropriate times. Nachagita vadita visukkadasana mala gandha vilepana dharana mandana vipusanatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from entertainment, beautification, and adornment. Uchasayana mahasayana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I undertake the precept to refrain from lying on a high or luxurious sleeping place. Imani atta sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani atta sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani atta sikkhapadani samadhiyami. I undertake these 8 precepts. I undertake these 8 precepts. I undertake these 8 precepts. And this part is just for me. Imani atta sikkhapadani silena sukhating yanti silena bhoga sampada silena nibbutting yanti tasma silang visotaye. These are the 8 precepts. Virtue is the source of happiness. Virtue is the source of true wealth. Virtue is the source of peacefulness. Therefore, let virtue be purified. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right. Well done. Well, sadhu, sadhu means well done. Well done to have undertaken these precepts together. Today is the Magha Puja day, or well, this is our celebration of it. The full moon was actually yesterday, but to bring the Sunday program together, it's we're celebrating today. This is the lunar anniversary of several great events. We'll be hearing more about some of them later in the day. It's the commemoration of the Buddha's announcement that he would be passing away 3 months later. And I think we'll be hearing about that as a significant theme later today. It's also the anniversary of the stream entry of the Venerable Sariputta and Mahamoggallana, as well as their appointment as the chief disciples of the Buddha not on the same day, on a different, I think a year later. And the one I'd like to speak about this morning is maybe the best known, which is it's the teaching of the Ovada Patimokkha, the Buddha's sort of summary, distillation of his teaching. And yeah. So the story goes that the 1250 arahants all gathered together to hear this teaching of the Buddha. But the teaching itself is actually very simple. And that's sort of what's beautiful about it. Let me put this up on the screen for you. I think it's a good complement to what we just undertook, the 8 precepts. Okay. I'm just going to chant this for you briefly, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Kanti paramang tapotitikha nibbanang paramang vadanti buddha nahi pabbajito parupakati samano hoti parang vihetayanto sabba papa sa akaranang kusalasu pasampada sacitta pariyodapanang etang bodhana sasanang anupavado anupakato patimokkhe cha sangvaro matanyuta cha pattasmin pantancha sayanasanang adhicitte cha ayogo edang bodhana sasananti. So, patient forbearance is the highest austerity. Unbinding, nibbana, is highest. That's what the Buddhas say. He is no monk who harms another, nor a contemplative, he who oppresses another. The non-doing of all evil, the performance of what is skillful, the cleansing of one's own mind, this is the Buddha's teaching. Not reviling, not injuring, restraint in line with the monastic code, moderation in food, dwelling in seclusion, devotion to the heightened mind. This is the Buddha's teaching. So So this is what we are doing here today. This is the summary of the Buddha's teaching. You can see from just undertaking those 8 precepts just now, this is the commitment today to not injuring anyone, anywhere in any way, being restrained with moderation in food, coming together today on Zoom, but putting aside whatever other activities or social things you may otherwise do on a Sunday afternoon. Dwelling in seclusion, committing to this for today, devotion to the heightened mind. This is the Buddha's teaching. And so probably the most famous verse here is the non-doing of all evil, the performance of what is skillful, the cleansing of one's own mind. This is the Buddha's teaching. So with the precepts, we have put aside all evil, at least made the commitment to that right now. Whatever may have come before this morning, I don't know. I don't know what you've done in this life or previous lives. But for now, for this morning, you have put that aside. It's a fresh, new chance. And, at least for those of you who have the camera on, I don't see you doing anything evil at this moment. Probably the others aren't either. So right now, you're not doing anything really terrible. And performance of what is skillful. So you've come together here to hear the Dhamma, to undertake precepts, to spend the day in seclusion. This is something skillful. Kusala. Kusala means skillful, it means good, it means wholesome, it means what is conducive to one's welfare. It's not good because it's, valuable in some external sense. It's good because it produces goodness in your life if you practice in these ways. So kusala is skillful, good, wholesome, conducive to welfare. And this word here, upasampada. Uposampada is actually the word that is used for the full ordination of a bhikkhuni or a bhikkhu. We call it bhikkhuni upasampada, bhikkhu upasampada. It means the ordination. But ordination, this is a term that comes from the Christian tradition of being especially ordained by God, by a higher power. And it's not a perfect match for the Buddhist monastic traditions. Upasampada, sometimes I hear it translated as the full acceptance into the monastic order. But the way that I've found it, that I've heard it explained by my own preceptor, Ayatthaloka, is that it's the entry into a shared basis of training. Upasampada means you're entering into this training together. In the case of the bhikkhu or bhikkhuni upasampada, then you're entering into the training of a bhikkhu or a bhikkhuni, committing to that training. But here, we're entering into the training in what is kusala. So I think sort of a performance, it says here, performance of what is skillful is not quite capturing that, but entering into what is skillful, undertaking that as your basis of training. That's what it is to have the upasampada into kusala. So giving up what is bad, undertaking the training in what is good and conducive to welfare. And Sachitta Pariyodapanang. So Sachitta, that's the mind. Pariyodapanang, purifying, cleansing, cleaning the mind. Etang Buddhana Sasanang. This is the Buddha's teaching. So this part about giving up evil and doing what's good, this is sort of the basis of morality in all the spiritual traditions of the world. This is not unique to the Buddha here. But the part about having it focused on the purification of the mind is a special teaching of the Buddha's, that we're giving up not only these actions and external actions that are unskillful, and committing to external actions that are skillful, but also in our own minds, we're putting aside whatever thoughts, whatever defilements there may be, and developing whatever is good and bright in the mind. And through this gradual process of purification, then we reach what he's actually mentioning the first verse here, Nibbana, Nibbanang Paramang Vadanti Buddha, unbinding or awakening or liberation or enlightenment is highest. That's what the Buddhas say. This is also pointing out that it takes a long time. It takes a practice, patient forbearance. Patient forbearance is the highest austerity. Kanti paramang tapo titikha. So, not to expect that the mind will be completely purified today, but by coming together and doing this today, and then the next time, and the next time, and the next time, again and again, as long as it takes. That is our training, our practice, our austerity. And it's what leads to this Nibbana, this unbinding, awakening. So, sadhu for your precepts today. Appreciation for that, with appreciation for your undertaking this most important teaching of the Buddha. And honoring that teaching through your practice today on this Magha Puja full moon. So with that, I'd like to go into some brief meditation together. I think just about 15 minutes. Having purified your hearts with the precepts, now purifying the mind, allowing it to settle. So, coming into your meditation posture, if not already, feeling the sense of grounding on the cushion or the chair. Feeling the uprightness of the body, a balanced way, not too tight, not too loose, upright, solid, dignified. All those I see here, I believe you're already practiced in meditation. I invite you to go to your regular practice, whether that's paying attention to the breath or to the body, to the thought of kindness whatever it may be. Just for the next few minutes, sitting and developing that, uplifted with the brightness of having just undertaken precepts, with the aim of purifying this mind. Entering into what is skillful, what is good and wholesome. As we come towards the end of this meditation, taking a moment to check in with the mind. How is the mind now? If it's clearer and brighter than before. And if it is, you can rejoice in that. And if it isn't, bringing patience to that, kindness. Knowing that one way or the other, this is the teaching of the Buddhas. This is our practice. This is our training. We can rejoice in doing it together at all. It's a good thing and a rare thing in the world. Just noticing. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodana. We practice here this morning. So this is our morning session. The next session will be at 9 o'clock Pacific time. So that's in about a little over an hour from now. In the meantime, you're invited to, if you have the time and space to do so, to continue your meditation, your sitting and your walking, or whatever you may need to do this morning. But with the 8 precepts, and then coming back in a little bit, and Ayasopana will be here to tell us more about the meanings and the of Magha Puja Day. So we'll close here for now. We can pay respect to the Triple Gem. See you soon.